I am your host, Sayman, and today we have a very special guest. Allow you to introduce yourself, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having me. Jordan Stevens, head football coach at Colerain.
Colerain, the Colerain, man. Congratulations on everything you got going on, bro. Um, I've been beating your inbox down for a minute now. You know what I mean? Just showing love and respect, man. But this a platform where I really, for players, coaches, ads, etc. But I'm big on giving flowers to people. You know what I mean? Because you humble as they come. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's important sometimes for people that's outside the box to feed that. So I appreciate you pulling up today, man. For sure, for
I
sure.
appreciate you, seriously.
Let's get right into it, brother. So, explain to me who Coach Stevens is. So we know what we read, what some people's opinion might be, but at the end of the day, for you, who would you define Coach Stevens as?
Um, it's a tough one. I think I really define myself as God fearing. Um, I think that in every person that I try to come into contact with is I try to make sure they understand that my faith is strong. God has definitely brought me through a lot. So I think that's most important to me. And really just a hardworking guy. I mean, a guy that truly loves his family, and a guy that really started from bottom. I really try my best to say that I'm a guy that has earned everything that as to where I'm at now. Has really tried to earn it.
That's respect, respect, respect. So I did my research, did some digging. I couldn't find where you play ball at high school at.
So I'm originally from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to dig. You hear what I'm saying? I love throwing homework, man. So how was playing ball out there? When did you start playing football?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't start playing football until 7th grade.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was late, man. I started playing 7th grade. And then when I got to high school, shout out to my high school head coach at Gateway. He's the DB associate head coach at Penn State,
Oh, yeah.
Coach Terry Smith. And he definitely made me fall in love with the game.
In 7th grade, what was your size like?
I was a bigger kid.
Oh, yeah?
I actually started out. I was a baseball player.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I wanted to play baseball.
It's always like that. See, I was a baseball player, but that was my better sport. But football, my daddy was.
Yeah.
You gonna play football? You ain't about to be all up on this baseball. You know what I'm saying? So it always pan out like that. In high school, how did your career go in high school?
Well, we're like a kind of like a powerhouse. I mean, Gateway. It was kind of like the big five in Pittsburgh. I mean, it was us. It was Woody High, Woodland Hills, Penn Hills, Pittsburgh Central Catholic. So it was always kind of us battling. But I did well. I left high school with 27 offers, and chose Miami, Ohio.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna swing into that next. So I saying you went to Miami U. How was that experience? Hold on, I ain't trying to say no. Oh, you're OG. You played during the time of my tripping? Well, you're not when Big Ben was there.
Nah, but what's crazy is he came to my house and recruited me.
Oh yeah,
to go to Miami.
Dang. So was he like the decide and that was a main factor for you?
No, it was kind of like a shock. It was like a shock to have him in my house, but
like, huh?
Yeah, but
that's dope.
But I think it was the fact when I went there, my mom said she felt like I'd be safe there. And me and my mom were really close, and she kind of wanted me away from the city. So I had Pitt and things like that closer to home, but she kind of felt like I'd be safe there.
Okay, that's dope. So in high school, getting recruited, 27 offers. Did you ever have NFL on your mind, or was it just like that was a dream, or was it just like, all right, this is it?
Mind? So I always thought like NFL was achievable. I wanted it. I played. I was on the practice squad with the Redskins and the Steelers for a season each, and made it through third round of cuts with the Redskins. So I actually was with them for a while, and things like that. But yeah, I always had the dream. I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't for me. I mean, every day having to worry about, man, do I got a job tomorrow? It just wasn't for me, and the travel stuff like that. having traveled between different cities, I just wanted to settle down and have a family.
I do imagine that'd be nonstop, every single day, every single minute. How was practice squad though? They make good money.
I made some money, man. It sucked though. I ain't
Oh man,
gonna.
hold on. So you was tight end?
Yeah, so I was I got picked up for tight end with the Redskins, and I played outside backer with the Steelers.
Ooh, so you going up against the stars?
Yeah, so it was. And
Oh man.
and I was undrafted, so you getting beat up every
Oh
day.
yeah. We might have to go another route. Hey, we could do it for a couple months, but Lord, the whole season. I'm trying to think. Redskins. Who was your? Was you on the offensive side or defensive
I was
side
on
at that time?
offense, and
Okay.
actually my guy was Brian Arakpo. He actually kind
man.
of took me under his wing a little bit.
So you faced off against him.
Yeah,
Oh man.
but he was a good dude though.
Well,
They
you
had a
ain't
lot of good
small
players.
though, so you know what I'm saying. They weren't probably looking at you like, oh yeah, it's food time. I'm smaller, so you know what I mean. I'll be up there like, huh? This is crazy. That's amazing, bro. Not many people can tell that story. What in your playing days? So we know you started off in middle school, high school stood out, college balled out. Is there anything that you took from your days of playing ball and transferred into your days of coaching?
I think I took a lot from different coaching styles.
Mm-hmm.
I try to kind of mirror some of the coaching styles that I liked when I was playing. Um, I mean, you can kind of be more stern and more tough with some kids, but then also kind of love them up. Like I said, I still have a relationship with my high school head coach. I always wanted to have that relationship with my players, and make sure that they know that
So
I got their back.
the bond y'all had, that's where you get that from.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. Because you don't really see that. And that's another thing, not to spin off a little bit. Well, let's spin off. That's another thing I don't really see when I look out. Like, you see it with some coaches, but it's not a lot of bonds between these kids and a lot of these coaches. I don't know if it's a coaches don't care or players just not invested. It's probably a combination of the two. But you definitely one, like I was saying off camera, that them players got a lot of love and respect for you, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it take time. I think coaches, me being now in this coaching world, like I don't think like you don't get paid for that. You don't get paid for like building that bond with them kids. And some coaches don't have the time. They don't want to put in the time. And these kids, they know like they demand that time of you. Like, look, I want to build this bond with you, and it takes time. Like having them over at the house and being with their family, doing stuff with them. So that takes time, and you just got to be able to do it.
Is it easy to get them? So outside of the time, is it easy to get them to buy in to what you trying to lead them towards?
When I first started at Mount Healthy, it wasn't. It wasn't easy. You gotta. It's hard. Like when that was my first head coaching job, and I didn't really have a name for myself yet. So it was like I had to really put in that extra time to get them kids to trust me.
Dang. So that was your first year head coach as a head coach? Well, not this past season.
That was my first. Yep, that was my no. So I was there. I was at Mount Healthy for 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah. So my first year, it like I mean, I hit you with a whirlwind. Like you're not ready for all the stuff that come with.
After that first year, how did you feel?
I felt like at least we had a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Like definitely had a solid foundation. I wasn't losing kids, and nowadays kids is just going everywhere. So I wasn't losing kids. So I felt like I had a strong foundation of it. If we could just build on that, I thought we would be pretty good.
I think I heard you speak on that at the signing day. You was referring to the seniors, that class, and you was pointing back to the very beginning. So like that's electrifying hearing you say that, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong, man, on my homework. Now, this stood out to me. I was there this day when this was said. So, was it 17 out of 20?
Yep. 17 out of 20.
Can you speak on that? One, I want you to say the official. So, we know I want you to say it. But then after you say it, I want to know how that makes you feel when you say that. Like when knowing that's established.
Yeah, so first of all, having a class of 20 seniors at Mount Healthy was they haven't seen that in a while, I feel like, but we were able to help get 17 of those into school, and a lot of people take credit for like, yeah, that we're getting them into school, but I don't want to just get them into school and then they got to pay for things. I wanted to make sure I was getting them as much money as I possibly could. So I was able to develop a kind of like a database of scholarships that they can apply for. If it wasn't all athletic and things like that, I wanted to make sure that I was getting them the most money that I could
possible
to go for free, basically. And I want to say we only had, I think I ended with maybe 3 that had around like $1,000 loans. So all the rest were going for free.
That's something, I don't know who speak on it, but I feel like that's something. I feel like in my era or any era, I don't know those statistics, but that's almost flirting with like, I don't think that's going on around here. That's the type stuff. When I say you deserve flowers, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep telling you throughout this interview, you deserve flowers. That's major. You know what I mean? People gonna look back on that 10, 20 years from now. Like that just don't happen in my opinion, you know? And I don't even know if people care to make it happen, you know? So I just want to give you kudos and let you know that's tough. How does that make you feel though? Knowing that you're responsible for that. I know you as humble as you can be, bro. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Somebody gotta feed this to you, cause this is like, bro, it matters a lot to me. I respect the numbers, but I respect that plus the heart you got. Like you said, you trying to put these kids in the best situation moving forward. You know what I'm saying? That's rare.
Yeah, God, man, God is good. I mean, he definitely helped me because I mean it's a struggle. I know everybody sees like, okay, this kid got the Kentucky offer, the UC offer. To me, like, and this is gonna sound bad at first. Like those aren't the ones. Like my Mir that's at Wisconsin, Jerry that's at Youngstown State, and guys like that. Those aren't the difficult ones to get in college. The ones that like the D3 guys, the low D2 guys, that D2, D3 guys don't have the resources to come out and to come out and like see those kids all the time. And so like you gotta really reach out to those coaches. So that takes a lot of time,
effort, energy.
So I mean, I appreciate like, yeah, I did it, but I mean, God provided time. He provided energy. I mean, he gave between my kids at home, my wife, those are I don't really give credit to myself a ton.
I don't at all. I don't know you like that, but I'm saying like every time I'm speaking to you, you don't never credit yourself, and that's amazing to be like that. But I'm saying that's what this for, like you know. So I just want you to know that, you know what I mean. So it's cool just to breathe sometimes. Like you deserve that credit, bro, because that's major, man. And you know I know the kids probably tell you they appreciate you all the time. But I'm an outsider, and I'm saying this, you know what I mean. So about 30 seconds, just take it in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's smile about it because that's major, man. And I just really always wanted to speak to you about it, especially watching it throughout the season. So I got to see it with my own eyes, not just the signing day, but throughout the season. I didn't get to catch no practices. I'm sure the practices was probably more intense, but just seeing how you galvanize those guys, bro. Y'all made an impressive run. Beyond impressive. Last season. Came up against Anderson, went down. But it's like, who didn't? So my question to you is, outside of that, now we know the big game. What's a memorable moment that you have from last season? Like something that's just like, hold on, I'll never forget this.
I want to say there was a lot. There was a lot that season, man. I want to say it was, and this is crazy. There was really 2 moments where I feel like really made a difference in that entire season, and it go all the way back to the summer before. Um, it was actually one of the young men. we ended up losing a 7-on-7, and he kind of like broke down. He's like, I'm tired of always getting and losing. I'm tired of always getting there and losing. And it was literally like the whole team came around, and we were on the bus coming back because this was at Ohio State, and we were coming back from Ohio State, and we literally were on the bus and driving back, and was just like, this can't happen again.
Like that feeling.
Like that, like everybody was just like, we got to do more. Like everyone just like, we don't want this feeling ever again. And it just like set the tone for camp. It set the tone for the season.
7-on-7.
This was 7-on-7 that season. And that like, it's giving me chills thinking about it. Cause like that moment, I think just really set the tone, not just for them, but for younger guys, was like, yo, this can't happen. Yeah, like so we gotta lock everyone in.
So the younger ones, they just what they seeing really for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know much about the losing. They do, but for them, it's probably powerful too.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And that set the tone for the rest of the season, and it was just BTA. Nah, for real. Like, from what I was, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm right there like, hey, man. I know they legit, but y'all was really manhandling a lot of teams. A couple teams crept back up in there, and I don't want to use the word garbage time, but they found their way back in, couple mistakes, but y'all was really handling people for the most part.
Yeah. What's crazy is I said this, I would say this to him all the time. Every time we lost, we needed it. I bring up West Claremont when we lost by like a couple points.
With that
was crazy.
Was low scoring, wasn't it?
It was low scoring, but we came back and they couldn't stop us. But it was the thing was I was like, we needed that. The reason I said that to him was like, we went into that game assuming we were gonna win. And like, to be honest with you, if we would have won that, I think it would have set a different tone for the rest of the season. That loss, that was my second moment of after that game. Like, we went to that 7-on-7, we lost, they locked in. After that loss against West Claremont, the next game we played Ross and we put up 63.
Yeah, I was at that game too. That was
so it was just like, we needed it to humble ourselves to almost be like, all right, now we lock back in.
Roll.
Yup.
That's big, man. I remember that West Claremont game. They had that running back, that number 21.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up watching him. I ran into him at a 7-on-7 little league they just had started in the city. And he came up to me and remembered me from shooting at that game. I'm like, oh, you was number 21, you know what I'm saying? But that was definitely a game I remember back to. Y'all had that in the bag too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was some stuff. Did they run a trick play? I'm trying to think back. I remember it was a pass in the far end zone, and I can't remember if it was a trick. It was something that wasn't supposed to happen.
It was the last play of the half, and they there was 0 seconds. They threw the ball, and he ended up running around the backside. Yeah, it was
doing a little. Yeah, that threw me off, man. And that was crazy because that's when I'm working the camera. So I'm like, you be catching stuff, and you be like, did that just happen? I'm like, man. So you say it set the tone. So that same energy they had after the loss from 7-on-7, it was similar, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, so our scrimmages, I mean, we were just, you could feel a different, like it couldn't happen. We got into that first, I feel like we got back on that high horse, and I'm the guy that, like, you're never going to see me excited. You're never going to see me all the way down. I'm always kind of even keel the whole time. I don't really like celebrating. I think that's even like the guys would even get mad at me. Like, I'm not the one. I'm not going out. I'm watching film. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't celebrate. So it's like they got to their high horse of like, look, we don't need to do the little things. And after that loss, they locked us back in.
And then it was Ross. Who was after that? Was it Fenwick? No.
Fenwick was week 4. Who was next?
Was it Taft?
No, Taft was week 4. So I think Fenwick was week 3.
I remember.
No, Wilmington was week 3. It was Wilmington, and then we went Taft. Shoot, I don't even remember, man.
Man, I was at the Wilmington. That was far. That was at their place, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the only game I missed. I was like, well, yeah,
It's far getting out there.
Woo! But then Taft, I remember the Taft game. Um, man, y'all was making noise. I'm saying that was an impressive run, bro. So we know the high moments. Was it a low moment? Now I know you stay even, you don't celebrate, you humble, get back to it. You say you on the film all the time. Was it a low moment for you? Because obviously at this point you ain't no quitter. But like, is it a moment that had you like, you know what I mean? Like, what is it going? Is this, you know what I mean? We putting our all into this.
I want to say, yeah, I want to say like maybe low moments are like whenever kids still mess up. I think those are like the low moments for me. I know I hate losing. So I mean, you could pull out like any of the games we lost, any three of the games we lost. You could pull any of them out and say that's a low moment.
Yeah.
For me though, it's more of like, man, when I'm still fighting with this kid to get his F up or to get a D up, like, and those are like the low moments for me. I'm like, man, like I haven't taught you enough. Like we haven't learned enough to be like, look, I can't have this D right now. So those to me are kind of like the low moments for me. Like I said, I hate losing, so every loss could be an easy low moment.
Yeah.
But like when kids still make mistakes and mess up, and you think you can let them loose a little bit because you taught them so much, and they mess up, those to me are like, where I'm like, man, I can't let go yet. Like I can't let go. They still kids, and I still gotta hold on. And kind of when they do dumb stuff, you're like, man, am I who I say I am?
So it make you start questioning yourself.
Yeah.
Man, that's deep.
So those are kind of like low moments for me.
That's deep. That's deep. All right. Another question for you, if you don't mind this one. What was the deciding factor for you making the transition to Colerain? Without being, you know what I mean, just not being extra about it. Just, what was, because like I say, the way I'm looking at it, I'm confused. I'm not on your end, but I'm like, hey, y'all, you can't lose somebody like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know X's and O's like that, when it come to that stuff. So that's another thing I wanted to just ask you, like, hey, what was the deciding factor for you? Like,
I think it was like, it's a step. Like my goal is I want to beat the best. So I think it's a step to demonstrate that like I can do it. It's also a step to me, like whether it's D1 football, high school football, or whether it's college, I don't really know what the next but my goal is to maybe one day coach college, and I think this puts me in a position on that track.
I really wondered that because I'm looking at it like, all right, you rebuilt this over here, right? And then you said 3 years and got it there. So we know Colerain the last 2 years. Really before that too, you know what I'm saying? But I'm looking like they got somebody special that's about to put a stamp on that program, in my opinion, because it's been missing. You ain't seen this type of, no disrespect to the coaches that was there. I'm saying you ain't seen this since the Combs was there, in my opinion, what they getting. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I seen it with my own eyes. So that's why I'm saying it ain't gonna take long for them to buy into the program. And once that start clicking, I see the shirt. It say the rain. We'll rain again.
Yeah.
Like that's little. Did you come up with that's you came up with that?
Yeah.
I see what's going on. I see what's going on, man. Kudos to you on that.